Hello, welcome back to Carl's Place. I'm Carl, and today I feel like baking. My diet says I shouldn't, but my mouth says I should. So I'm going with my mouth. Stick with me. I'm gonna make good old-fashioned cheesecake. Okay, cheesecake, one of my favorites. Can put unlimited toppings on them. Pineapple, strawberry, blueberry, chocolate, whatever you like. Now, cheesecakes come in different textures. There's the whipped kind, which is light and fluffy and airy and tastes delicious. And then there's the more old-fashioned kind of cheesecake that is much more dense, kind of like a New York cheesecake. What I'm making today, I don't think qualifies as a New York cheesecake. I've been using this recipe for years, and I got it from that 1968 Betty Crocker cookbook. So this recipe is 55 years old. I've made it many times and it always comes out delicious. So I'm gonna make it for you today and give it a try and see how you like it. So before anything, before you do the crust, before you do the cake, turn your oven on to 350. Get it preheated. We're gonna cook the crust first. Once the crust is cooked, we're gonna turn the heat down to 300 to cook the cake. So let's not worry about the cake right now. Let's go ahead and do the graham cracker crust. So what you will need for that is 4 tablespoons of sugar, half a stick of butter, and I'm gonna throw that on the stove and get it melted, not boiled, just melted. 1 package of graham crackers. The one I bought was, I think it was Nabisco or something. There's a lot of different brands out there. It had 9 full graham crackers. Put them in a Ziploc bag, and now you get to beat the crap out of it. Very good. If you have any pent-up anger, now's the time to do it. Okay, get all your dust. All right, we pulverized the graham crackers. Go ahead and throw them into a bowl. Look at that, it's really just dust now. And this part's nice and easy. Get your butter and your sugar. Throw your sugar in, pour your butter in, and then mix it up. Mix it up until it looks like the graham crackers are all a bit moist. And that's kind of mealy looking. Okay. So for this recipe, it calls for to use a 9-inch springform pan, non-stick if you have it. You can use a 10-inch, but remember that your graham cracker crust is going to be thinner, and the cake itself is going to be thinner, and your cooking time is going to be shorter. So if you do it that way, just keep an eye out on it. So you just pour all the graham crackers into the bottom. And I have a little trick for this. I use my meat tenderizer, which has 2 sides. This side you stab the meat, and this side you pound it. So, but you can use it for other stuff too, like graham cracker crusts. You want it packed firmly. And this also is going to help keep the cheesecake in the pan and not leak out. But I do put it on a sheet pan. Okay, that's it, nice and packed in the pan. Now throw this in the oven, already preheated to 350 for 10 minutes, but start checking it at 8, just to make sure it doesn't over brown. Crust is done. So it took about 10 minutes, and I don't know if you can see, the edges are nice and starting to brown. It's perfect. Now it's gonna cook a little bit more when you put the cheesecake on top of this. But it has to cool first, so I'm gonna put it on the top of the stove. Now don't forget, your oven has to be turned down to 300. while you're making the cheesecake part of it, and it should bring it down to perfect temperature, and then you can cook your cheesecake. Cheesecake part. You will need 8, 16, 20 ounces of cream cheese at room temperature. So that's 2.5 8-ounce packages. Make sure it gets nice and soft. 1 cup of sugar, 3 eggs, 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla extract, and 2 teaspoons of lemon zest. Now, this isn't a lemon cheesecake, but what happens is the lemon zest just gives it a little bit of an essence. It doesn't really taste lemony, but there's a lemon hint. So 2 teaspoons of lemon zest. Let's mix it up. Okay, it's actually very simple. I'm gonna take your cream cheese, put it in a mixing bowl. I'll use that to put my spatula. Break out your hand mixer. Of course, you can do this in a big, fancy, cake mixer and stuff, but I don't have one of those, and I like hand mixers. So go ahead and whip up the cream cheese until it's nice and fluffy. Okay, so now you want to start adding your sugar a little bit at a time, and that'll help cream the cream cheese. Good time to scrape down your sides. A little bit more sugar. Make sure all that sugar is incorporated. And you can see how nice and creamy the cream cheese has gotten. And now I'm gonna add your vanilla extract and your lemon zest. Give that a mix, just a quick one. And now you want to add your eggs 1 at a time. So plop 1 in, plop. I'll just put this on a paper towel so it doesn't get everything messy. And mix that in. Egg number 2, plop. And egg number 3, go on. Scrape down your sides 1 last time. Make sure you get everything mixed in there. Okay, that's it. Scrape it down. Look at that, beautiful cheesecake filling. Okay, graham cracker crust is cool. Just pour it in. And you want to give it a little drop just to release any bubbles that may be in there. And throw it in your 300-degree oven. Okay, the cheesecake is in the oven at 300 degrees. It has to cook for at least 50 minutes, 50. I would suggest maybe about 45 minutes. Take out your little skewer, poke it in the center. If it comes out clean, it's done. So start around the 45 minute mark, start checking it because you don't want to overcook it. And that's it. Now we wait 50 minutes. I'll be back.
And we're back. I'm 50 minutes older. But anyways, the cheesecake's done. And just came out of the oven. Look at that. Now what's going to happen is you're going to take this out of the oven and it's going to be puffier than it looks right now, and it's going to sink fairly quickly. So don't panic. It's supposed to happen. So this is where it ends up getting denser. So now comes the hard part. You have to wait a long time before you can eat this, because it has to cool. So it has to be at room temperature before you can even put it in the fridge. So just put it on your stove, let it cool down to room temperature, probably take about an hour. Then you can wrap it up and put it in your refrigerator. And it has to be in the fridge for at least 3 hours, but it keeps up to 10 days. So that's good. You don't have to eat it all in one sitting like I normally would. Not that bad. But yeah, 3 hours, 10 days, and cheesecake freezes really well. Really, really well. So what you would want to do is I'll probably, cut myself a little slice or two and then cut up the rest of it, stick it in the freezer, let it freeze for an hour and a half, 2 hours, and then I'll take them out and vacuum suck them. Keep them in the freezer. They'll last a couple of months, no problem. When I want a piece of cheesecake, I just pull it out and I don't have to eat the whole cake. But I can still indulge. So that's it for the moment. I am going to put this on the stove, let it cool down, put it in the fridge, and I'll see you in about 4 hours. Bye. Finally, the wait is over. Time for the unveiling. The cheesecake is now nice and cool. Looks beautiful. It's quite heavy. So what I do, I usually take a butter knife for us, and I use the back of the butter knife, and I just go around the cake, which of course the pan is supposed to be non-stick, but we know how that goes. Okay. Alrighty. If it breaks, it's fine. Whatever. I'm not Wolfgang Puck. Nice. Oh. Look at that. Hey, let's cut a piece. Now this is going to be a challenge too. Getting one piece out very nicely really works. But that's okay, because you know what's right next to that? Another piece. And there you go. Piece of cheesecake. That look good? I'm happy with it. And of course this is what it looks like from there. Okay. So I'm not going to put any topping on it for us. I'm just going to taste it as is. Oh yeah. I think that's the thing that I love most about cheesecake. Even when it's dense, it's like dense and fluffy at the same time. It's hard to describe. Really good. Like I had said, the lemon zest just gives it a little bit of, just a little something where you don't really know quite, is that lemon? You can eat this with no topping at all, and it's absolutely delicious. But like I said, people put whatever they want on top. Pineapple, blueberries, strawberries. I've even seen it once with just sour cream put on top. But my favorite, of course, caramel. And pour some caramel on there. And you pour as much as you want. You don't have to be fancy. It's your cheesecake. Oh my God. This is why I'm happy that this freezes well, because I would eat the whole thing. It'd be gone by tomorrow. Stuff like this, I can't stop. I can't help myself. If it's so good, yeah. Oh man. It's creamy, almost custardy, and yet dense at the same time. Indescribable. And of course, after milk. The graham cracker crust is perfect. Nice and toasted and buttery. Even with the caramel, you could put crushed pecans on here and then put the caramel over the top, make a turtle cheesecake. It's fantastic. Please, please, please give this a try. You're going to love it. If you do, let me know. And that's it. I hope you loved today's video. If you did, please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And hit the notification button if you have subscribed. Please, please try this cheesecake. It's so good. Have a great day, guys. Bye.